If you turn in your Grow Pray study guide this morning, you will see on the front our scripture reading for today. It comes from the prophet Isaiah in the 9th chapter, verses 2 through 7. Hear now these words. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in a land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. You have multiplied the nation, you have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as people exult when dividing plunder. For the yoke of their burden and the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor, you have broken as on the day of Midian. For all the boots of the trampling warriors and all the garments rolled in blood shall be burned as fuel for the fire. For a child has been born for us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His authority shall grow continually, and there shall be endless peace for the throne of David and his kingdom. He will establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time onward and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. This is the word of God for the people of God.
Thanks be to God.
Everything has its season, right? As the song goes, there is a season for everything under heaven. And everyone knows what the season is right now, right? The scarecrows and the turkey decorations have all been packed away. Black Friday and Cyber Monday have come and they've gone. The Hallmark Channel is now fully engaged in its movie marathon, and the radio stations are blasting The Little Drummer Boy. Did you know there is a game about The Little Drummer Boy? It goes like this. This is not part of my sermon. This is just an aside. Because everybody needs a good game in the holidays. It goes like this. The last one to hear The Little Drummer Boy wins. I don't know what you win, but you win something. This is a game that goes on all over social media, and if you hear it at the mall or the doctor's office or on the radio in the car, then you have to post on social media, I'm out. And I only found out because a good friend of mine was out, and I didn't know what he was out of. But he listed The Little Drummer Boy. So, the Christmas music is playing nonstop. We know that it is Christmas, right? It is Christmas. It is here. Cities have had their Christmas parades with Santa coming in at the end of the parade. They've done tree lighting ceremonies at every mall and outlet all across the country. It is Christmas, the season that comes at the end of each year. We wait for it all year long. It seems like it will never get here. Christmas wraps up each year like a gift with a shiny bow. For the rest of the world, it is the end of something. But it's different for us. It's different in the church. Here it is not Christmas. It is not the end of the year. Here it is Advent. The beginning, Advent, the beginning of the year. It is time to prepare for something new. In the church, Advent is preparing for the birth. And preparing for birth is important. Because, when something is about to be born, when a baby is about to be born, you do not want to be caught off guard. I'm looking at you. You do not want to be caught off guard. You go to classes and you learn how to do all the things that you think you know how to do, but everybody else is fairly certain that you don't, which is why they give you advice that you don't really need or don't really want. You prepare a nursery in your home and you get ready, and then you do the most important thing. You pack that bag. You pack that bag and you put it by the door so that it is ready so that you can grab it when it is finally time for the baby to come. But what if? What do you do if you misplace that darn bag? What if in everything that you have done to prepare somehow, things just do not go according to plan? What do you do then? Panic. You might panic. Things were going so good last Sunday, y'all. Things were great. There was a whole group that stayed after worship because we were decorating the sanctuary for Advent. We had a lunch together that was plentiful, and we got all the bins out of the storage shed, and we began decorating the sanctuary. We put up the banners, and we put up the Advent candles, and we set up the Christmas tree here, and when we got out the poinsettias and the wreaths, we began to put everything together. And there was lots of help, so it didn't take us very long to do any of that. And at the very end of our time setting everything up, all of a sudden I said, wait, before anyone goes, who put the Christmas down? Where are the Christmas? You know the Christmas, the round decorations that we have on our tree every year, the ones that are basically, they're like monograms with Christ's name and indicators of Jesus all over them. Where are they? They're always in the same box, this box with Christmas on every single side of it. It's plain. It's easy to see. Where are the Christmas? We didn't see any Christmas. Nobody saw any Christmas. And I just kind of thought to myself, you know what? No big deal. Somebody just didn't look in the right bin, and then I'm going to have to be the one to go out and find the Christmas out in the shed. Megan will go with me. We'll do it on Tuesday. No big deal. Tuesday got here, and I'm telling you, Megan and I spent 2.5 hours upending this church. We looked everywhere. We looked everywhere not once, but twice, because I looked and she looked, and I would open the door and she'd go, I already looked in there, and I would say, I don't care, I'm looking again. I even looked in the refrigerator back here behind the sanctuary, because I was looking where the food was, and it just, my hands just kept opening anything that would open. We tore this church apart. No Christmas. Who got the email on Tuesday? Please, oh please, we hope one of you lovely people took the Christmas home, maybe to fix them, because some of them are delicate now, and maybe they need a little fixing, and that you took them home and maybe you would bring them back. Someone has misplaced that hospital bag, the one that you're supposed to have ready, so that when the baby is about to come, you can grab it and go. We cannot be ready for the birth. We don't even have the most basic of our supplies right here where they're supposed to be. And after all, really, this is not our first rodeo, is it? We've been doing this every single year. We prepare for a baby the same way every single Advent. Those Christmas, they have to be here somewhere. After we sent the email out, even Linda came to the church. And she looked in all the places that Megan and I had already looked, and opened all of the drawers that we looked in as well. It has been utter chaos this week. And what was the word you used, Jenny?
Panic.
I've got it written right there on my sermon. Panic. How can the Messiah come if we are not ready? And it was as I was asking myself this question during the week that I began to laugh. How can the Messiah come when we are not ready? As if we control any of that. As if our lights and our decorations, as meaningful and beautiful as they are, could ever be the deciding factor for God's entrance into the world in a new way. And so we begin a new year this morning in the darkness. No Christmas to light the way for the Messiah. We're not ready. You're not ready, but we are hopeful. And there's a big difference there. Hope is born in the darkness. It is a longing for something new, a belief that something that we cannot yet see is on the horizon. Hope is pregnant with anticipation and desire. Hope has night vision. It can see in the dark. Hope knows that what we can see now isn't all there is. It's the beginning of a new year, and it comes at the darkest time on our calendar. The days are short, the nights are long, and we have this desire to light up our nights. But don't all beginnings come from darkness? In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while wind from God swept over the face of the waters. And then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light, and God saw that the light was good. There was morning and there was evening. The first day. God created everything from darkness. And the prophet reminds us that the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light, and those who lived in a land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. Hope is born in the darkness. Not when we've got it all together or when we've done everything we can to prepare. A child is born for us, says Isaiah. And Luke and Matthew, they tell us of a child being born in a time of chaos in Bethlehem to a couple whose lives have been upended and are in chaos. And oh yeah, darkness is required, don't we all know, for a baby to be born. 9 months of darkness in the womb before breaking forth into light. There's so many contrasts to this season. Is it Christmas or is it Advent? Is it the end or is it the beginning? There is light and there is darkness mixed together, and no matter how we try to prepare, there is going to be chaos. All the lights we chase at this time of year, the twinkling lights that we like to drive through neighborhoods to see, the shopping sprees that we run to, the Christmas music we blare 24/7, they are not the kind of lights that make any headway toward where we need to be. The lights, Christmas decorations, they look really pretty, and I love them too, but they don't reveal much of anything. They're not helping us to see. They're not pointing us anywhere. We light up the night sky with millions of twinkling lights, yet our world is still somehow in deep darkness and chaos. Wars continue to rage and people are still oppressed. The divide between the rich and the poor continues to widen and widen, and yet out of the chaos of even our corner of the darkened world, a prophetic voice calls out that we are woefully unprepared. A child comes, and his name shall be Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Into the darkness and out from the darkness, a child comes. A child is born who signifies promise and hope for a future beyond ourselves. A child who pulls us out of a kind of thinking that focuses on what benefits us. A child who will come to encourage people to look to God's future, a future light that is beyond our wildest imagination. That is why we sing this morning, "Come along, expected Jesus, born to set your people free." It's why the choir sang the anthem this morning, "O come, divine Messiah." The world in silence waits the day when hope shall sing its triumph and sorrows flee away. Into the chaos of our lives, the dawning of a new day, of a new year is coming. I know you have.
You found them?
We finally did find these crystals. We found them late this week. And wouldn't you know where they were?
The last drop.
Not only the last place we looked, they were hiding in the darkened corner of the shed out back. Buried in a tomb, I kid you not, underneath all of our Easter decorations. Light up all the lights that you want for Christmas, but remember it's Advent. And God prepares us a different way. Because God knows that hope and a child and new life, they are all born in the dark.